Good evening. I almost fell asleep without recording a video. I'm just tired, but I was reading today in John 11, and it is the part that I was anyway, it's about when Jesus got word that his friend Lazarus had died, and him and the disciples traveled to go see him. And just the miracle that took place there. For those of people who don't know, Jesus raised Lazarus from the grave, and it's a really powerful moment in history when there was a bunch of doubters and people there just watching to see what Jesus was going to do. And chapter 11 verse 40 says, I'll just read. We'll start at verse 38. It says, Jesus, once more deeply moved, came to the tomb. It was a cave with the stone laid across the entrance. "Take away the stone," he said. "But Lord," said Martha, the sister of the dead man, "by this time there is a bad odor, for he has been in there 4 days." Then Jesus said, "Did I not tell you that if you believe, you will see the glory of God?" So they took away the stone. Then Jesus looked up and said, "Father, I thank you that you have heard me. I knew that you always hear me, but I said this for the benefit of the people standing here, that they may believe that you sent me." When he had said this, Jesus called in a loud voice, "Lazarus, come out." The dead man came out, his hands and feet wrapped with strips of linen and cloth around his face. Jesus said to him, "Take off the grave clothes and let him go." And that's such a powerful picture that I get. With everyone gathered around, and the Bible talks about Jesus being deeply moved by the news of Lazarus being dead, and as Mary was weeping and Martha was upset, and Jesus said, like, "I told you I was going to show you the glory of God, and I'm going to do that." And Jesus raised someone who had been dead for 4 days, raised him from the dead. And everyone around him was in shock and in awe. And I don't know. It blows my mind. Like, I wish I was alive just to be able to see, the reaction of people's faces. And God can do impossible things. He can do the impossible. And it's frustrating sometimes because we're like, okay, God, I could really use you in this situation. And he's there. And the answer isn't always what we want. And it's not always in the timing that we want or think it should happen. God is there with us, but sometimes the answer to what we're praying isn't immediate. Sometimes it comes in a way that we don't want, but we need. And God, you know, He does things that are going to benefit us. And, you know, like, it may be longer than 4 days for God to do a miracle, but God can do impossible things, and that's what I am being reminded about today. And just with things happening, God can do impossible things. And my finite mind cannot wrap my head around the things that He can do in His infinite power. And I just need to shut up and sit back and trust God and watch what He's going to do, because I know that there's an answer coming, and I know that the situation is going to be healed, and I know that everything is going to work out. I just have to trust God and His timing and not my own. So that's what I wanted to share. Hope everyone has a good weekend. We'll see you guys tomorrow.